this is gonna be my first video out here, so don't judge me too much. I'm Syvero. My goal with my YouTube channel here is show you how to do different side hustles, take you along my journey of investing, flipping items, how to save money, basically anything and everything finance. So this first video is gonna be me growing my portfolio from scratch. I have 3 different brokerages that I use, 2 for my personal investing with 2 different financial advisors, and then my personal one that I'm using now that I'm just gonna be growing for fun. I'm not gonna use any of the money from my main business to fund this because that would be cheating in my eyes, but I will definitely tap into some of the connections that I know to find different hobbies, to find contract work, to see what it's like to be able to work in different industries, try different things and make money that way. All the money that I'm going to be making from this channel and from these deals will go straight into my personal portfolio here, so we can try to grow that and scale that as much as possible. It's April 10th right now, so the tariffs just hit. Stocks are down. They rose up the other day like 20%, but they dipped back down. So I think this is going to be a really great time to start this series to see what I can grow. Right now, we're looking at a little over $750 in the total SoFi account, which is what I'm going to be using. I've tried Robinhood and a few others. The one thing that I don't like about Robinhood, if you're starting from scratch and you're just getting into this game, SoFi offers a free high yield savings account, which is one of the best things, and we're definitely going to be taking a little bit of advantage of that just to show you what it looks like. High yield savings account acts just like a normal savings account, but you'll start earning interest on your money with no hidden fees. Google says that 82% of people don't use a high yield savings account, which is absolutely crazy because most of them are completely free and require no minimums. There's a few top ones out there, but the one that we're going to be using is SoFi. The only downside that I see with SoFi is that they don't allow crypto anymore, which is one thing I definitely want to do. So we're going to be using Robinhood for our crypto. I know, don't judge me, it's not the best. I'm still learning crypto, so this whole journey is going to be learning with me. If you know a lot about crypto, don't judge me. We're gonna get there. Trust me. There's a lot of different things that I do understand about crypto, but for the general public, we're gonna be learning together. I'm gonna be taking you along the complete journey. We have $750 in our SoFi savings account. We do have some leftover personal stocks coming from Robinhood, so we should have an additional like $700-800 in there. So by the 15th, when that transfers, we'll have about $1,500 here. Right now, for the past month, I've been doing contract work to get paid out here, so we're gonna add that up soon and figure out what that total is. But for what I'm gonna invest every month on the 3rd is $1,208.75. That's my salary as I employ myself. That's the highest that I'm taking for my salary, and I pay myself in distributions. But I'm not going to be taking any of my distributions and putting under my personal. My financial advisors take those and figure out what they do at that. But that's going to be completely separate. So I'm going to be using my paycheck to put into my personal portfolio every month, and then all the money from my side hustles do this. There's a few things that I do want to recover and switch over on how to find different ways to save money and use that monthly to try to grow my monthly investments so that becomes standardized every month, and hopefully that reoccurring amount will continuously grow as I learn how to save money by switching phone plans, finding different deals and pairing things together, and finding hidden costs that I use in my personal life and dialing back on that. So that just puts more money in the stock market in my investment account, and we're going to see how massive we can grow this portfolio. In this series, I'm going to be doing contract work, flipping items like Pokemon cards, garage sailing, electronics. We're going to try some TikTok stuff like TikTok shop. All of the sponsors and all the money that this channel generates will go directly back into the portfolio. I'll be completely transparent with how much money we make. I might not be able to see the brand name and how much I made from each brand, but we'll do a generic sponsorship where you'll probably understand where that money is coming from. Pretty easy to tell. We're going to be taking our investing in a different way, very unique right now, which is not what I typically do and not what my financial advisors tell me what to do whatsoever, but I think I could beat them, to be honest. That's me being a little bit cocky, so I'm probably going to get my butt handed to me, but I think for the advantage of the market right now being April 10th, we could invest heavily in just a few stocks and probably see a good return and recover over the few years. We're not playing a short-term game here. I really want to go for a long-term high portfolio, but I definitely want to take advantage of dividends, some risky stocks that I do like Lucid, and then some longer term stocks too, like Apple, the S&P 500, Tesla is another big one. I'm really big into tech stocks, so I feel like that's advantageous. And then definitely crypto too. The only crypto that I really want to get into is just building a high Bitcoin portfolio. There's not too many other cryptos that I really do believe in, but if you have any suggestions, I'm open to doing my research, put it in here. Whenever I do updates on my portfolio, I'm going to show you what we're at, how much we've invested, and break it down line by line to show you exactly what we're investing in. I'm going to do my research to show you why I'm investing in things and why I believe in companies and why I believe in the companies that I'm investing in, and then show you the growth on my dividends and especially my high yield savings account. So I'm going to get all my finances together, break them down on a sheet, and then cover this soon, and you'll see that. So I'm going to set up my recurring investments so we can at least get the ball rolling there, and then over the next few days I'll show you my investments, which is going to be the next part of this video, so you'll see that in a second. So let's hop right into that. A few days have passed and we have some really good news. So some of the money that I got back from my old apartment, my deposit was $396.88 out of my $500 deposit. That's pretty good. That's going to go right into the stock portfolio. So we're going to add that. And then also for distributions for closing down a company I invested in, lost like 40 grand, but I get like $2,500 back because I over contributed from my partners. So I should have like $2,200 to $2,500 plus this that we're going to put in the stock market. So I'm going to add up all of that and see what we're at too. I still have to deposit that from my bank into my portfolio. I don't expect any other months to be kind of this crazy just off the start. So I think already we're at like $3,607.86. Kind of great. So plus this $300, $400 that we're going to be adding should bring us right over 4 grand. And then the 2.5 grand-ish should bring us up to 6.5 grand. So not too bad to start out the portfolio, but now we actually need to invest. So I'm going to do some research and see which stocks that I want to pick to start investing in. We already have a few shares of Apple. I think we're going to add a few more. But there's some other very promising dividend stocks that I want to get into, along with like ETFs and just anything where we can kind of diversify and go over the larger S&P 500 to see if we can get some steady growth, some long-term, some short-term, and dividends to really just start compounding and see what kind of monster portfolio that we could grow. I don't think any of the other months that we're going to get into are going to be as good as this just out of the gate until we set up some systems to start making money. But that's what this is for. I'm going to show you how I'm making money, where I'm making money, and then putting all of that right into the stock portfolio. Granted, I'm not withholding any taxes here because all my other main business activities are going to pay for the taxes that I would have paid on this. And I think for a better video, it wouldn't be fun if I just put in 50% of the money I made. That would take a while. That would be really boring and just less fun. This is week 3, and here's what we're sitting at. Right now, we have $3,952.43. We're down $75 in the past week. Market hasn't really done a whole lot. The ETFs that we've invested in, being VU, down a little bit. Not too worried about that. More of a long-term strategy for me. Apple, I think we're still up on Apple. Let's switch this to data display total returns. Apple, we're up $39. Meta, we're $156. Amazon, we're down $1.47. Lucid, we're down $115. That's more of a fun one. We'll dive into that next time, but my goal is 50 shares of VU, which would equate to about $20,000, a little bit more than that for market value. Not too bad. So we're gonna start stacking VU, Apple, and then we're gonna do a little bit more riskier ones, being Lucid. I'm really intrigued by Lucid, and so I think we're gonna put a couple $1,000s in there when we can. Then we're gonna make some really stupid decisions and see if we can double our money in like a week. We're gonna do options. So after everything, we have 4 shares of VU, 5 shares of Apple, 1 share of Meta, 2 shares of Amazon, and 62 shares of Lucid. If you want to see me grow this to a monster portfolio, subscribe.